Ooh.
By the way, it's 12:47. I must say, I mean, it was a hard hike come starting this morning, but after that, it was an easy 10 miles. So, ain't too much. And the bugs were not bad at all. I remember this corridor. You have to go through two corridors, Route something else and Route C. And I got ate up so bad in 2005. That's the reason why I purchased this hairnet. So it wasn't that bad at all, probably because it rained so much last night. So dude, that is a blessing. I can't complain about the rain, because that's what I dreaded. From this point forward, if memory serves, I got nothing to worry about as far as bugs go. Maine was tame. There's nothing about the whites where you got to worry about getting eaten alive. I mean, if you ask me, there's only one more hurdle, and it's really not a hurdle. I told you in 2005 I had a great experience with the huts. The rule is if you get there before 5, you could stay, and if you get there after 10, you can eat the leftovers. But rules out the door. I mean, nobody really does that anymore, so I'm not going to go in here with no expectations. I'm going to try to go to the hut following the rules. They'd be like, no, get out of here, we don't want you, cool. You know, I'm not going to get upset. I will tell you about it, but I'm not going to get upset. I already whined about that years ago. I'm just going to go on my merry way, tent where I will, and go with that. But as far as anxiety goes, that's the only thing that can irk me, so to speak. I went through all the stuff. Maine is going to be Maine. It's just the huts now. They'll either make the experience or water it down and make it mediocre at best. And I'll be honest with you, that's why New Hampshire was my favorite state, in part because of the great experience I had with those huts. I never ate out of my bag one time. They gave you dinner, and to be honest with you, when you do a work for stay, that includes dinner and breakfast, but I'm not one to stick around for breakfast. I'm an early riser, so I would get my dinner and just hit the trail. And by the time around noon, when I hit that other hut, all the leftover breakfast that nobody ate is just sitting there. You give your $1 or however much it costs, and you just gorge yourself and you head out to the next hut, and it's dinner again. So it worked out really nice. We'll see what happens this year. No expectations though, out here. This is the property that the hostel is on.
You've arrived at another fabulous destination.
Sir.
I don't want pizza.
Did you So as I said, I was here in 2005. Pretty much everything is like outside. For example, I'm about to take a shower. This is the bathroom area. It's outside. This is the shower area. It's outside. They want $250 to wash and $250 to dry. And the thing with me is, that doesn't sound very hiker friendly. $250 to wash clothes and $250 to dry. How welcome does that make you feel? And you're doing it yourself. They're not providing the service. Maybe that's just me, but I'm taking a shower out here. By the way, the shower is $250 as well out here. I just got out of the shower here. Now, the last time I was here was 2005, and the place pretty much looks the same. It's almost like you don't have house access, so it's like they put hikers on these like tents out here all over the place. When you take a shower, you see this hole right here? That's the shower right on the other side of that. And if you look up right here, it's almost like somebody with the right camera can just pop right in. So I don't know. I mean, if I was a female, I'd probably feel uncomfortable. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is nothing has changed in 10 years. So take from that what you want. And but when the mosquitoes are bad, because they do come while you're trying to take care of stuff like this, you're constantly getting bit out here. They advertise shuttles, but the thing is, they say that a car is down, and the shuttles that are being conducted right now are being done by day hikers that are being nice. And I guess they're asking for money in return because it's their car. And then you have, like, for example, if you ask an employee about a ride to town, they'll point to their refrigerator and tell you to resupply there as far as eat their food, blah, blah, blah. But the shuttles aren't forthcoming, so to speak. I may end up hitching out here.
That's what you and I were looking at.
All right. They do have a bunkhouse upstairs. However, their internet doesn't work. They advertise internet. I took my computer in there. I couldn't get it. I asked someone that stayed here, do they have internet? They said it's spotty. I say it doesn't work out here. All right. I got at this hostel at 1:30. When I came in, the guy that works here, I can assume he works here, he said, yeah, the shuttle will be back by 2 o'clock. I'm like, cool. I shaved, I took a shower. So at 2:30, there was a girl walking around here. She looked like that she worked here. So I was like, do you know how long the shuttle's going to be? We were told the shuttle was going to be here at 2 o'clock. And she's like, she was saying, well, we only have one shuttle, da-da-da-da-da. It's going to be a second. I'm like, I understand that. But the guy said 2 o'clock. Do you know when the shuttle's going to be here? And she's like, nope, I don't know, you know. And so my attitude was, then why would the guy tell us 2 o'clock, you know? And then she says, oh, I don't work here. So I'm like, cool. I mean, you know, you're entertaining the idea, and you have this information as if you do work here, and you're saying things as if you work here. So once she said she didn't work here, I'm like, whatever, man. And that was the end of it. So it's 3:52. The shuttle just shows up, right? And then the guy, he starts, we haven't left yet, but the shuttle just showed up. And the guy that was driving the truck, I guess he just walked around making his rounds. Next thing I know, he comes up to me and is like, can I speak to you outside? And I'm like, okay. So he speaks to me outside. He says, yeah, Teresa said you were hassling her. And I'm like, who the hell's Teresa, first of all? And he's like, well, he said, well, she said you were getting on her about the shuttle. I'm like, first of all, she didn't even work here. So what is she talking about? And then he was like, yeah, well, I just wanted to apologize for the shuttle, blah, blah, blah. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, who is this woman? You know, she's just running off and telling this guy like it's almost like she's trying to get me evicted, and I'm not even staying here. But that's just so cowardice. Anyway, like I said, it's 1:30 when I got here. It's about 4 o'clock. I'm still waiting on the shuttle out here.
Computer room and
Chicken calzone.
Just hang up, and if a man answers, hand it back to me,
Eating at
okay?
the hostel.
That's a
It's 10 till 6. I'm back on the road. I'm just going to head out to the shelter. There's a shelter not even a mile away from his house, so we'll just call it a mile. Shelter experience, I mean, as far as the hostel experience, I'm gonna tell it to you like this. It's 0.3 miles, okay? That's closer than the town. The town is 5 miles away. They have a big selection. I mean, they got everything you would need. Don't get me wrong. They got pizza, they got ice cream, they got the whole nine. So I'm not telling you don't go there. I mean, they got the shower, they got all that. What I will tell you is, it's probably not necessary to spend the night. That's what I will tell you. Now, they do have a common area. You can sit in that common area, you can watch movies, and I think in the mornings they were mentioning something about pancakes and stuff, pancakes and bacon for $5. There's a lot going on there, all right? But I showed you what it's like with the facilities outside, and I think the bunkhouse is inside. There is no indoor bathroom. So if you're sleeping upstairs in the bunkhouse and you need to use the restroom and it's pouring down rain, guess what? You got to go outside to use the restroom. I think it's cool for a way station if you just want to stop in and get something. But the shelter is so close, I would tell you walk 0.3 miles in, do what you got to do. I jumped in on the shuttle. They didn't ask me, they didn't charge me for the shuttle because I went in with like 6 other people. But had they said that'll be $5 for the shuttle, I'd have paid them because I didn't stay. I totally respect that. So either way, you know, you pretty much make your own judgment call on that. All right, me, I didn't stay. I'm gonna go to this shelter right here. I mean, they want $20, so that's a lot. Anyway, out here. I'll tell you this. Had they had internet, like, okay, I'm not gonna say they don't have internet, but the internet they got is shoddy. If they had better internet, I probably would have stayed. I got 4 movies I need to upload. So just for the internet, I would have done that. But like I said, they may as well not have it out here. The trail picks up right at a dead end, it seems like, and they expect you to cross this river. There's no way to cross the river without getting your feet wet. And remember what I told you before, if you keep going down, you're gonna find a tree. So here's the tree. Go in there, make a right, and just keep walking until you find a tree. And apparently it's been used before because the trail is very worn right through here, and then pick up the AT out here. I weighed my pack today at the hostel because they had a means of weighing it. But before I tell you how much it weighed, the last time I weighed my pack was Damascus, and it came in at 45 pounds. And since Damascus, I've made more modifications as far as getting rid of winter clothes and all that. And for some reason, I just assumed that I was still carrying 45 pounds. And when people would ask me, I'd tell them, hey, I'm carrying about 45, 50 pounds. But I just weighed this thing, and I think it said like 30.9. And I find that hard to believe, but then I started to think about it. Well, I did get rid of my winter clothes. I dropped my chessboard. I you know, and it's the weirdest thing. But hey, I mean, I can't complain. I still got my computer, and I got full resupply. Full resupply. And I'm weighed in at 30. So you know what? I don't know if I believe it or not. But the pack feels just as good now as it did the first day I wore it out the store. So until I get a second opinion, I'm gonna be on the fence about it. But check this out. I mean, let's face it, I got no reason to deny it. I mean, if that's what the scale says, that's what the scale says. And if it needed calibrating, I'm assuming somebody would have done it. But you remember when I was leaving Amicalola Falls and I was weighing in at 60 pounds. And I told you that at some point, I'm gonna just shave the weight off and it'll take care of itself. So I guess I'll give myself credit and say, now that I'm one state away, I'm like 398 miles away from Mount Katahdin, Maine, and I've cut that weight in half. I went from 60 to 30, and I did get a new pack. So there you go. That's just a testament to the game. You know, you get smarter as you hike, you start making necessary changes, and then boom, you know. So there you have it. Let's see where we at here. I'm at the shelter. Brooks Shelter came in at 15.7 miles. So that's what I did, 15 miles today. But as you know, I spent like 5 hours at the hostel down there, several waiting on the ride. Check this out. When I play back in my mind, I don't think I gave the hostel a fair shake. I mean, I really don't. I got no reason to be, you know, bitter or to give them a bad review. I call it as I see it. I mean, I do. I told you the truth across the board. But it's like I said before. I'm not saying don't go. You should. It's 0.3 off the trail when they sell everything. And as far as the town goes, only thing they have is a gas station. To be honest with you, Warren, they have a gas station and they have a restaurant, the Greenhouse Pizzeria, which isn't bad. That was an awesome calzone. But don't get the French fries. Somebody got ripped off. The French fries look like they just took a potato, cut it, and threw it in some grease. It looked real bad. He was not satisfied. But why are you ordering French fries in an Italian place? Stick to what their forte is, and you're good to go. This is the shelter. It looks like I'm the only person here, and I wouldn't blame it. Unless you're southbound, why would you stay here and you got the hostel? And look at this. It says Trail Magic as if somebody left some food here. I'm inclined to believe that that's just stuffed with trash right now. If there's something in there, I'll let you know. I'm in for the night. Out here. This is something you don't see every day, so I gotta show it to you. Right? That's what happens when the trail is close to the when the shelter is close to the trail. I guess anything goes out here. Forgive me, I have to show you this privy, and I know it seems crazy. It's like, what's up with this guy and these privies? But I tell you, man, New Hampshire, they just, I don't know, I just couldn't walk away from it. Okay, you remember the last privy had the upside down star, reminiscent of like Baphomet and the devil and whatnot. So now you got a big 13 just sitting on this shelter. I mean, on the door of the privy. Now the privy looks nice, but it's like, what are they trying to say? It's like there's a recurring theme over and over and over again. It's the weirdest thing. And when you looked inside the privy with the upside down star on it, everybody was writing about God and this, that, and the other, as if they're trying to balance out the evil mojo or whatever. I don't know, but let me see if there's anything written on this wall in here. Nah, this is pretty clean, I guess. You know, maybe it's me. But I don't know. I just think there's something going on there. Out here. Yeah, that looks really welcoming, doesn't it? This is a styrofoam mat here. Can you imagine how much microorganisms and everything else that gets absorbed with the sweat and all that? I don't think I'll be sitting on that out here. Yeah, I think yesterday or this morning I told you that I was going to do something like 23 miles today tomorrow as I'm going into the White Mountains. Now, when we say White Mountains, what we're referring to are the presidential range that New Hampshire is known for, hence the name Mount Washington. Anyway, after looking over this information and after hiking the last several days and trying to acclimate back to the elevations, I'm going to put a frag order in on that. And so let me give you an example. The last big mountain we had was Clingman's Dome. Okay, that was That was in the Tennessee Smokies. Now tomorrow, let me see. Right now I'm at mile marker 1791. Okay, Mount Musalaki is at 1796. So 5 miles away from this location is a mountain that's almost 5,000 feet high. Okay, it's 4,802 feet in elevation. I'm going to be climbing for 4 miles, just going up for 4 miles. Okay, so that's going to be, and I'm hitting that first thing in the morning. That's going to be a hard day. All right, now, let me see. There are 8 huts in the going over the whites in the presidential range. There are 8 huts, and huts are different. They're not like shelters. Huts are like full service hotels, pretty much, where they feed people and they put them up, and it's usually a breakfast and dinner. And we already know about the huts where you can work for stay and all that. Anyway, there's 8 of them. Now the way I've done it when I thru hiked in the past is I would go every other hut. I'd work for stay in one. I'd never stay for breakfast, but I'd get the free dinner. I'd hike out, and if it's after 10 o'clock, all the other huts would put out the leftover lunch or leftover breakfast, anything that didn't get consumed. You donate $1, and so I would go through there and I would eat that. So every other hut, and there's 8 huts. Okay, so what is that? That's about 4 days going through the whites if you're going every other hut. Now, tomorrow I'm going to do 15.9 miles. That'll put me into the last shelter just before I hit the huts. All right. Now I'll either do the shelter or I will stealth camp. For example, I don't know if this shelter is inside the park. If it's inside the park, then they're going to be like trying to charge you somewhere around $5 to $8 to tent or to be in their shelter. Me, I'll just stealth. I'm not going to pay that. So that's where we are. Tomorrow the plan is to do 15.9 miles. We'll just call it 16 miles, okay? The day after tomorrow, I plan on hitting the first hut. Let me see. It's going to be Lonesome Lake Hut. And let me see. The shelter that I'm staying at tomorrow is going to be at 1807. The first hut is at 1813. So that doesn't leave me much. I guess I could show you, but they probably won't have leftovers out at that time because I'm going to hit there so early. But at any rate, I'll be able to show you the hut, let you see what's going on, and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, there ain't gonna be no 23s tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a long, arduous day, but that's what I signed up for, the hard stuff. So, good night for now. This is a very patriotic shelter, as you can see. You got the sun coming through. It's 7:18, and I'm signing off out here. Good morning. I was just thinking this over last night. I'm gonna have to make a detour 10 miles from here, over Mount Musalaki and back down. There's the town of Lincoln. Right now I'm sitting on 5 videos, and where I'm going, there ain't no internet for the next 4 to 5 days, because you know I'm going through the whites. I'm up there. It's like you're roughing it. You'd be lucky if you get a phone signal. So basically, before I go radio silent for like a week or so and not post anything, it would be prudent of me just to stop in town and post these last 5 videos. So I mean, it makes sense, because if I don't do it now, I'll probably come off that mountain with 10 or 15 videos, and I'll just be like marred down trying to upload videos all day, you know. And given the small towns that lay ahead of me, as far as rural New Hampshire and rural Maine, if all they have is satellite connections and internet's like, as far as trying to get the internet, it's going to be a long haul. And between you and me, the whole Days Inn, Ramada Inn, all those pattern hotels that are like what's the name? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to call them cookie cutter, but the well-known, the name brand hotels that are in the South. I'm not going to say they don't exist in the North, but they don't exist in the places that I'm going to. Okay, you're not going to find a Days Inn in rural Maine. So everything from this point forward is going to be like hostels. It's going to be like bed and breakfasts, and it's going to be like crazy things like Mountain Inn and the White Horse, and all of it's going to be well over $200, or at least it's going to seem that way. So basically, the point I'm trying to say is that what I was used to as far as services, or what you were used to as far as services, are going to pretty much vanish as further north you go, and you're going to have to reinvent yourself or try to figure out, okay, if I'm going to stay at a bed and breakfast, can I pay $179? That kind of thing. All right, so you do end up roughing it a little bit more as you go north, just because of the expense of it all. So that being said, 10 miles, pull over, hitch into London or wherever this town is, and Lincoln, yeah, and then upload some videos, and then come back out and do what I said I was going to do. So the goal is still 15.9 out here.